Hey there, so we're back. I got this thing to work eventually. What I had to do is I had to go here to the right. I click here and I clicked on power off and log out, and I just restarted it. And once you do that, like you can do something else, but that's why I got it to work. So you have to go here, power off, and you have to restart it. And when you restart it, it's gonna ask you and you're gonna try to reload that CD here, and it's gonna ask you to run the software. Let me see if I can reload the CD. It doesn't look like it's working. Let's eject this and see if I can reload it again. Let's go here, devices, um, insert guest CD. Doesn't say anything. And it says this contains software, yada yada, and you click on run. And when you click on run, then eventually I found that, let's eject this, I found that everything was working, which means that if I clicked on the files folder and I look down here, this popped up. This is connected to my actual computer. So this is where I can drop files in and out from this virtual box to my computer. So this is important. You need this to drop files in. So you need that, and also being able to copy and paste is sort of important. So let's see if I can copy and paste this. Like it's important. It's yes and no. It's important. It will make your life easier if it is important. So let's again. It looks like that doesn't look like it's working. And as we can skip that part for now. Let's see settings, advanced bidirectional. It'll make your life convenient if you can copy and paste. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't work. Okay, so the next part here, hopefully I'll get it to work eventually, but in the meantime, I might as well just move forward. Um, so let's close this. And also, if you enlarge this window, the whole thing enlarges, which is very convenient. So let's close that and go here and we're gonna look for the terminal. So over here is terminal, but if you can't find it, just type in terminal in the top. And I know the screen is small, which is a pain in the neck, but it's nothing I can do about it. However, I was able to make the screen big for this terminal by pressing, I believe, Control Shift Plus. Here we go. Can make it a bit bigger for you guys. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is you need to install a couple things. Let me just pause for a sec. Okay, we're back. I eventually got the copy and paste to work by going to machines and clicking here on reset. And then when it started up, I was able to copy and paste. However, if you're unable to do so, what I suggest you do is you go to your shared folders. On my computer, my shared folders was here, and this is connected to my virtual machine. So you can copy and paste your instructions here. I think I put my instructions here. And what you can do is once your instructions are here, then you go back to your virtual box, then you go here, go to files, you go to that folder which is shared, Android, and then they can open up the instructions here, and then you can start copying, pasting things into the terminal from here. But I don't need to do it because I already got the copy and paste to work. So, but if you couldn't, then that's one solution that you can do to be able to copy and paste because you don't want to be typing out all your code. That's difficult. Anyhow, back to the code. So the very first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna install some stuff. Hey there. So everything you need to do should be in the description. Here I'm just gonna follow some of these instructions. I've been just building instructions here. Here we go. So we're gonna copy and paste this sudo app. Apparently it's the Linux headers. I'm not quite sure if this works or not, but this is what someone did online. This guy named Aaron on YouTube. That's what he did, and it worked. For me, it worked. Everything worked. So I'm just gonna guessing that this is an important step. Enter your password, and that's going through. So you paste that. Let me just make this a bit smaller. Just Control Shift minus. Right? Make this big. There we go. Do I want to continue? Yes. And it's working there. In the meantime, the next thing I want to copy and paste, according to my instructions, is this Cylon 3. And apparently there's a problem with this Cylon 3 that you have to fix the problem with. And I noticed that when I was doing, it took me 3 days to figure this out. But I noticed there's a problem here. And well, we're gonna install Cylon 3 first, and then we're gonna fix it. Okay, it's going. Maybe I should pause this video. I'm gonna pause this video. Okay, so that part is done. Next thing on the page, we're gonna put in Cylon, and again, we're gonna have to fix this later on. So all this stuff, including Cylon 3, and I'm gonna. Okay, do I want to continue? Yes. I have no idea how long this is gonna take. I'm gonna pause the video for this. Okay, it's done. So again, like I mentioned earlier, there's a problem with Cylon 3. And I encountered this problem when I was trying to do this on the Raspberry Pi, which by the way, I'm going to make another video. I'm going to try to install this on Raspberry Pi as well. Okay, so let's go to our instructions here. We're going to fix the problem with Cylon. First, we have to get into the directory, and we're going to be using gedit to edit the Cylon file. So let's copy and paste this. Paste it here. So first we're getting into this directory, and then we're gonna edit the Cylon file. So right now I should do both once, because when you use this and symbol, these two ands, it does commands in sequence. So it's empty here. So all we have to do is type in, I believe, at Cylon. It's this command Cylon $at. And again, I'm not a I'm not a fantastic programmer, and I have no idea what this does, but apparently it works. So you do that. Control S to save, and let's close it. I'm just gonna double check to see if it's there. Yep, it's there. And once that's done, um, let's see if it's next instruction part. Oh yes, we have to exit the system, and then we have to give it permission. So 755 or 777, either or. This is a permission. There's a couple numbers, but I'm not gonna explain those numbers here. So if you look in this directory, it's probably huge, but the Cylon file is in this directory, right? So you need to give it permission. So sudo chmod, which means change modification, to 755, which is all all yes permission, and then Cylon, and that's the file that we're giving it permission. You can use 755, or you can use 777. Um, so there's another. You can look at another video to explain that. Okay, let's go to the next step. Okay, so after this, we're gonna go back to the home directory. I'm gonna use cd killed, and just so you know, there's a couple of directories. So if you look in the home directory, it's desktop. Has this stuff, videos. It's just for the home directory. Don't confuse it with the root directory. That's something else. And there's something I'm gonna show you a bit later. That's weird. But let's just move on. So we're gonna download buildozer here. I believe it's what I wrote on my instructions here. We're gonna download buildozer. I'm making this instruction at the same time as I'm making this video, so I should type in here sudo get clone. Yes, we're getting the clone. You can use app install or pip, but I find that getting the clone is a lot better. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna copy and paste that. Get clone. Hit enter, and we're getting the clone, and it should show up. Here we go. It shows up right here, buildozer. And what we're going to do is, before we get into that, we're going to download a couple of stuff. Let's take a look at our instructions. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to download all these files. I believe these are I believe these are all in the instructions for the buildozer website. So let's do that. Copy and paste. And I'm going to pause this video. Okay, we're back. So it's done. Now, if you look here, if you click on ls, you'll see that there's a buildozer file now right here. And we're going to get into that file, cd buildozer. And you can hit tab to autocomplete. I don't know if you guys knew that, but if you start typing something and press tab, it autocompletes, so it'll save you a lot of time. So you might want to try that. If you look inside this buildozer file, you'll see that there's a setup file. It's a py. And to activate this setup file, it's a Python file, so you have to use Python and then the name and then install. And I have it right here. Where is it? Here we go. Sudo, and don't forget you have to always do sudo. And you should try avoid using sudo su or getting into super user permission. You should try to avoid that. It's better to always use sudo because apparently you come across some problems if you do. So anyways, let's just copy and paste this. Again, it's Python and then the setup name and then install. And I guess we can pause this. Okay, we're back. So everything should be done. We need to create a spec file. A spec file is that could be a tricky thing, but let me show you. Let me get look at this ls. So right now there's no spec file. So to create the spec file, you type in well, I'm gonna do sudo. Always do sudo. You don't have to, but you should always do sudo. Buildozer init, which means initialize. Are you sure? Yes. Okay, let's take a look. Now the spec file is here, and if you open it, there's some things you need to change. It's sort of like a settings thing. Um, Copy, and let me just do that. Let's use gedit. So sudo gedit. Like you can use nano. I should use nano, but I think gedit's a lot easier to use than nano in terms of editor. If you look here, then you have all these things. I know it's very small, so that's why I'm gonna copy and paste it. I do not know how to zoom for this, um, but I'm gonna go through this for the next file because this is sort of important. So I'll make another video for that. So let's close this. So once you get all your spec file done, I'm gonna copy and paste mine in the description so you can sort of follow mine as a guide. And then what I suggest you do is you make a copy of that spec file. And for me, what I did is, if you look here, this is my shared folder. And if you look in Android, I put my spec file right here. I just made a copy of it, and I put it right here, so I don't have to do everything from scratch, because I don't know how many times you're going to be running this program. So all you have to do is go here um, in Files. Let's go back. Let's go to Home. And if you look in Buildozer, because by the way, Buildozer it shows up in your home directory. See Buildozer, it shows up right here. So once you do everything in the Linux terminal, it shows up in your home folder. So you look in the home folder, and you have your spec file here. And you don't need this one. You don't need because I already made one earlier. So what you can do is if you haven't made one, then you can edit this. But what you can do is you can go here to your file and you can get your pre-made spec file, and I assume you're gonna want to do that. And you're just gonna copy and paste it. Copy and then paste it into your buildozer file, and just replace this one. So that way you don't have to keep on creating these spec files over and over and over again, which can be tedious. Okay, so let's see what the next part is. Uh, yes, we're gonna have. Okay, so let's go back into our terminal. The last step, once you have that spec file done, is to run this command. Now this command will only make the APK file in the bin directory, which is what you want. If you want to install into your phone, however, you can use a different command. So let me just go down here. So this command here installs into your phone. So you got to plug your phone in. You got to make sure your phone is actually connected, which is a bit of a pain in the neck. Be perfectly honest, I'd rather have the APK file and then download the APK onto my phone and then install it through there. That's a lot easier. But if you don't want to do that, you can run this command instead. Let's go here. So this is one. This gives you just the APK, which I suggest you use. And but if you want to install your directly to your phone, you can do this file. But you have to plug your phone in, make sure it's connected. Let me show you. Let me just connect my phone into here. Let me just let's do this. Let's plug this one in, and then I plug my phone in. You gotta make sure your phone doesn't fall asleep. And this thing's a 20-minute process. So go into your phone. Okay, so here, if you look down here, let's close that. If you look down here, you see this USB thing? You want to right click on it, and then here we go. You see the Samsung? It shows up right here. So you want to click on that. and what you're waiting for something here. You see on the top, it says Android. And so that's what you want. And then you look at your phone and it should say allow access to phone data. So pay attention to both your phone and this computer. And once this appears, that means you're ready to rock and roll and to install into your computer. Okay. And that's it for now. That's the run it. And in the next video, I'm going to troubleshoot a couple things because this, for some reason, it screws up for me. And I had to really figure out how to fix those screw ups. So I'll show that in the next video. Let me just